Junichi is a lonely virgin in a school packed with couples dating each other. He goes to his friends who are agonizing about being lonely, so they pull out magazines filled with plot in front of everyone. He accidentally holds one of them, and Yukana comes and steps on it, telling him to do this disgusting shit at home. He apologizes, and she walks away. Later on, his friends tell him that Yukana would definitely want him, and they force him to go ask her out. He imagines laying on the bed with her and engaging in character development. She tells him he doesn't need magazines, and reveals why her plot is so much better. She tells him she'll eat him up. A love letter is left outside of Yukana's locker, and she decides that she will go see what this love letter is about. Our protagonist has the greatest idea ever to make sure that he is able to get with this girl. He decides to get on his knees and beg for her to go out with him.
Sensational.
She looks at him and thinks he must be such a loser for getting on his knees to beg for her. He imagines everyone making fun of him for being such a loser. He thinks that he has lost his future chance, but looks at her plot from a convenient angle and realizes that he doesn't want to stay alone forever. He realizes that he wants more than just to stare at the white cloth. She asks him what he likes about her and why he wants to be with her. He realizes that he can't think of anything and tries his hardest to come up with a good answer. He responds that he likes her bitchy side. She asks him if all he wants to do is just lose his virginity, and tells him that she won't be going out with him if that's the only reason he wants to be with her. She realizes that he's been looking at her plot this whole time, and gets down for him. She tells him that he's kind of fun, and he realizes that her plot is very close to him. She tells him that he can see her plot much more than before, but he pretends he isn't looking. She is upset that he's not looking anymore, and tells him that no one is around, just him and her. She tells him no one will find out what they do together. She asks him if he wants to see more, and that if he tells her what he wants, she'll let him look even closer.
We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
He realizes that she is a complete freak and begins to wander around. She realizes that he looked and calls him a hilarious perv. She calls him a complete virgin and starts laughing at him. She then relaxes and asks him if he truly likes her. He gets up and tells her that she can ruin him for being a virgin, but then she grabs him down. She puts her plot in his face and tells him that she likes him quite a bit. She tells him that she will go out with him. The next day, he wonders if she was really serious and actually wants to be with him. His friends come and ask him how everything went, but then he sees that he got a text. It is a selfie from his new girlfriend, and his friends are extremely mad with him. One of them tells him that he should kiss her already, because then he can be getting kisses every morning when he wakes up from her. He then tells him that in order to do so, he should invite her to a karaoke, and that there are 3 rules that he should listen to so that he can have a successful plot development. At school, Yukana comes up and hugs him, asking him if he liked the selfie that she had sent him. She tells him that she didn't use any filters or anything, and he is very flustered. Yui seems a bit bothered by this, and wonders if they had always been this close together. Yukana reveals that they started dating yesterday to the entire class. Later, he realizes that he didn't have a chance to ask his new girlfriend to karaoke, and sees that his friends left without him. They tell him that they can no longer be friends with him because he is a cool man with a pretty girlfriend, and they are just lonely losers. They walk away from him, but Yukana comes up to him. She asks him if he's free after school, and asks him to spend time with her. As they walk home, a girl called Nene sees him. She is a childhood friend of his. She is confused about why they're holding hands, and seems jealous by this. Yukana explains that it's because they're dating, and she runs away. Yukana doesn't think much of this, and decides to keep going with him. She tells him that she wants to go to a place where she could scream and feel good with him. Junichi realizes that they're at a karaoke, but was hoping he'd be able to get a room instead. She tells him that she wanted to sing super hard, but none of her friends wanted to show up. She tells him that they're at least getting to go on a date in their school uniforms, and he thinks she's so cute. He sees a sign saying that this room can't be used for major plot development, and imagines what people would be doing in a room like that. She walks in and has brought him juice. She tells him to excuse her, and puts all of her major personality in his face. He wonders if she just did that on purpose, and that he felt all her warmth on him. He imagines her developing a lot more plot with him, and, "I'm sorry guys, but if I show you, nobody would be able to last NNN." She gets on her knees and tells him that she'll give him a massage to relax. He realizes she's gonna test his mic. Giggity. He snaps back into reality and sees that she's singing her heart out. He sees that she has a great voice and realizes that he isn't able to sing any songs because he doesn't know any. The truth is, however, that he's just like me and only knows anime songs, so he's worried that she would make fun of him. He hears her singing a song filled with plot where she says that she wants him to carve into her and spend the night with her. He realizes that the first pillar of the pyramid has been unlocked. She sits next to him and wants to sing with him, and he tries to pick something. She takes the device from him and puts on a popular anime song. He instantly recognizes it and takes the mic, and she tells him to sing with her. They begin singing together, and he thinks that she must be trying her hardest to make him comfortable. He's surprised that she knows anime songs, and she tells him that she knows a lot of them. He realizes that they are now having fun together, and the second part of the pyramid is achieved. She takes her clothes off, and the third part of the pyramid has also finally been unlocked. He is ready to achieve supreme plot development. His Chad personality appears and tells him that this is the greatest opportunity and that he must be a man to make sure that he doesn't lose this opportunity. He pushes her against the wall. Outside, she realizes that he was definitely trying to kiss her and that she can't kiss that easily. They walk outside together, and he thinks that it is over. He hates his nose hair for destroying his opportunity. Yukana tells him that she had fun with him and that she wants to go karaoke with him again. In the shadows, Ranko is looking over them and thinks that she must destroy this. The next day, he opens his locker and sees a love letter sitting in there. His friends are back at it, being mad at him for being the luckiest man at the moment, wishing they had this much luck. He wonders if he should go to meet with the girl who left this love letter, as he has a girlfriend. His good friends give him the best advice and tell him that he should go and see the girl in person because Yukana would be upset if he ignored a love letter. He decides that he should listen to his friends and goes to meet this girl. He sees Ranko is waiting for him, and she asks him if he's a virgin. She looks him up and down with her serious plot, and he realizes her plot is too close. She hears his heartbeat and pushes her plot on top of him. She tells him that he's getting excited over a girl that isn't his girlfriend and that he is naughty. She asks him if he wants to do it here and that quickies are her thing.
What do you mean by that?
He wonders if he's dreaming, and she gets closer. She sits on him and tells him to play with her. He realizes that he's about to lose NNN, but his girlfriend comes up and sees him. She gets extremely mad and thinks he's cheating on her. Ranko asks him if he was having a lot of fun, and she tells him that she's out. He thinks this is terrible and doesn't know what will happen, but she comes back and asks the girl what she's doing with her boyfriend. Ranko apologizes in a playful manner, and Yukana asks him how long she's going to ride him. She gets up, and Yukana introduces Ranko as her childhood friend. Ranko tells him that Yukana has bigger plot than her, and he attempts to understand the situation he's in right now. Ranko asks Yukana how close she's got with Junichi, and she ignores her and they decide to leave. Ranko, however, is extremely angry because of this. At home, he gets a text saying that he will be hanging out with Yukana and Ranko. They play bowling, go to a restaurant, and even go shopping together. As they are walking outside, Nene sees him with another girl and gets sad and runs away. Yukana and Ranko are shopping for clothes and don't know what they should be getting. Yukana gets 2 outfits, asking him which one he would like. He imagines developing plot with her in both of them, and realizes that the white sweater one would allow character development and story progression to be much quicker. Ranko tells her that she should pick the blue one instead, because her arms would be out more. He waits outside the changing room for them to get finished, and they both come out. She asks him what he thinks, and that she picked something that would be a virgin killer. She seems upset that he has nothing to say, but he thinks that he's actually already been killed hundreds of times by her already. She waits for his replies and he flirts with her, but Ranko seems mad by this. Outside, 2 guys approach them and ask for directions to the train. Yukana tells him the directions, but he asks her to take them there instead. They decide to act like douchebags, and Junichi attempts to act tough. He tells them that she's his girlfriend, and that they need to back off in a non-chat manner. They push him down, but Ranko tells them that she'll take both of them on. She decides to go walk with them and hold both of their hands. Yukana asks him if he's okay, and Ranko returns, telling him that they were okay after they had a little chat. He heads home, thinking that he's pathetic for being unable to help his girlfriend. He sees Ranko is waiting outside his door, and she tells him that she thought he was being very cool when he was attempting to protect her. She tells him that she might like him, and tells him to talk inside with her. They go inside his house, and they sit together on the couch. Ranko gets on him, telling him that she's happy he let her inside his home. He tells her they can't do this, but she wants to develop plot by hugging him. She lays on him again, and he realizes he's getting in a dangerous situation. As she begins to develop plot, he thinks about Yukana and how much he likes her and all the times he's been spending with her. He holds her and tells her that he doesn't want to sleep with just anyone, and that he's not that much of a loser. He wants to only do it with the girl he likes, and that he wants it to be with Yukana. She gets mad, yelling at him and calling him a failure. She tells him to stop pretending to be cool, and that he should stay away from Yukana. She seems upset that Yukana picked him, because Ranko and Yukana have been friends since childhood and doesn't want Yukana to be taken by him. Yukana barges in, telling him that she thought Ranko has been being weird, so she followed them. Ranko worries that she might have just heard everything, and they try their hardest to act like nothing just happened. Yukana thinks he cheated and that they were about to do something. They realize she didn't hear anything they've been saying, but Ranko attempts to explain that she was just testing him. Yukana believes her, but tells her the test went too far. However, she is happy because this means her friend cares about her. Yukana tells her that she likes her for being the best friend she's ever had. Ranko begins crying, apologizing for the way she acted. The next day, he thinks that Ranko will stop moving mad, but she comes and attacks him. Yui is observing them, and is mad that he likes a girl other than her. Yui thinks she is the goddess of the world, but then sees a boy that picked up an eraser and gave it to her. She thinks that he is a dog, but likes him. Junichi is watching streamers, thinking that he's doing this so he can treat Yukana better. He sees a girl online and thinks she's cute. The next day, he's having lunch with Yukana and imagines her feeding him. He then imagines her stuffing her mouth with a big round ball. She asks him what's wrong, and that he's got a weird look on his face. Ranko is also sitting with them, so he can't be doing anything. He thinks that she's still planning something considering how she acted the other day. Yui comes out of nowhere, and he wonders what the matter is. She asks to talk with him for a little bit, but Ranko tells her that she's a bother. She tells her to get lost, and Yui apologizes and begins walking away. She tells him that she'll talk to him later. Ranko is furious, worrying that he might have something with this other girl. Ranko thinks that Yui looks innocent, but she's got a bad feeling about her. Yukana decides to leave with her friends and asks him what's wrong. She tells him that he looks like a dog waiting for his master, but he ignores it. She tells him bye-bye doggy. Yui is standing behind him and tells him she wanted some help bringing supplies from the cafe today. He agrees to help her, and she lets out a sly smile. They go to the cafe together, but they are just sitting at the table. He realizes that he's sitting with her and that she must actually not be here for schoolwork. She gets up and comes to sit next to him. She tells him that this cafe doesn't get any customers, and that it's a hole in the wall. Giggity. She tells him that the owner went to buy things, and that it doesn't matter how loud they get. He snaps back to reality. Yui asks him if he's really dating Yukana, and he says that they are. She tells him that she didn't expect him to like a girl like Yukana. Meanwhile, his friend is watching the same streamer. The girl is saying that she's mad the guy she likes is being a dog for another girl. She then complains about all that's left are his 3 loser friends. He starts to realize that something is off and screams. Yui, the next day, hugs him and tries to make Yukana jealous. She tells him that she felt a lot better talking to him, and his friend is using his phone to take a photo sneakily. Later, his friend reveals that he's made the greatest discovery there is. He shows them a picture of the streamer and a picture of Yui next to each other, explaining that they are a complete match. He shows them the audio tape he's got of her, and realizes that she's talking about them. Ranko overhears them, and thinks that this is an interesting story and wants to know about it. Yui asks for Junichi again, and grabs his arm, telling him to come with her somewhere private. She takes him upstairs above the school building, and he is confused. She drops her bag, telling him that she can't take this anymore and that it's his fault. She gets close to him, and he's wishing that she likes him. She tells him that it's embarrassing, but she likes him. She tells him that she's hoping he would go out with her. She tells him to break up with Yukana and to go out with her. He starts thinking about Yukana and tells her that he likes Yukana and couldn't leave her. He tells her that he's happy she would confess to him, but his heart belongs only to Yukana. Yui calls him a dog and gets mad, yelling at him. She reveals that she has a videotape of the day they went together out for a date, and that she was secretly recording it. This girl is all types of crazy. Then, from a distance, he sees the Power Rangers coming to save him. They jump, and they all crash except Ranko. Yui tells them to get lost, but Ranko tells her that she wants to join in. She makes a streaming reference and calls her Boa-sama, her streamer name. Yui walks away, giving him the evidence and agreeing she won't say anything. She asks if the guys would say anything, but they tell her that they are supreme gentlemen. Ranko tells him that she doesn't want to see Yukana sad, and Yukana comes up to him. She walks home sadly and asks him if he was with Yui. She appears upset, but tells him that she knows he's only in love with her, so she's not worried at all about him. Junichi wakes up and sees Yukana is in bed with him. However, it appears that it's actually Nene sitting there. He doesn't recognize her at first, and wonders why she's in his room. At school, Yui thanks him for the help from yesterday, and thinks that he smells like another girl. She sees Nene coming up and realizes that she's the source of this smell. Nene apologizes for intruding, and wonders if Yui's gonna get mad at her. She says that this woman is so ugly that she looks like she could be 30 years old. Yui is alerted that class is about to start, and leaves and steps on him. Yukana tells him that he looks very tired, and wonders what happened to him. He tells her that there's been a lot of things happening recently, and she tells him that she wants to go somewhere fun for this weekend. During lunch, Yukana is shoving a huge ball down his mouth, while Ranko is eating a long sausage. Ranko tells him not to get his hopes too high or she will be getting him in a lock again. Junichi realizes that he's forgotten about Ranko, and Ranko will not let him flirt with Yukana in front of her. Nene comes up and hugs Junichi. She says that she saw food on his cheek and licks it off. He thinks that Yukana would be extremely mad at this as she hasn't even kissed him on the cheek. Ranko asks him who this girl is, and he's worried that Yukana would leave him. Yukana, however, isn't upset and recognizes this girl. Nene thinks that she needs to show Junichi who is better, so she decides to do this by comparing her plot to Yukana's. Plots begin to collide in the most intense battle there's ever been. This is the battle of the ages, as two stories collide. But it gets better. A third plot enters this plot twist, and there hasn't been this much culture in all of anime to this day. Why do people fight? Why does war exist? This is all ridiculous. He wants to show this to the people who wage war, as this could solve all problems in this world. Nene backs off and is upset because she's known Junichi forever, and remembers when they were kids together and how she wanted to be with him since then. At night, she sneaks into his house again and plot development takes another extreme. She gets on top of him, asking to take story progression to another level. However, in his mind, his Chad personality tells him to be an admirable man and defeat the evil desires, as he is with Yukana at this point. He covers her up and tells her that he doesn't want to do this with her. He tells her that he loves Yukana, and will only do it with her. She remembers the promise they made, and realizes that he ended up being cool. The next day, his friends have devised the greatest plan of all time, and that is to go to Yukana's house with all the other girls and play a game that will get all of them some action. If you made it to this point of the video, you are my real fan. Let's confuse all the fake fans by saying I can't believe that Yor showed up in this video and assassinated Kirito. That'll be an amazing twist of events. What are Junichi's friends planning? And will Junichi allow them to go through with their plans? If you blow this video up with enough likes, then I will upload the next part just for you guys. Till next time.